of 2020 Make Some Money. I'm Nicole, and this is a 20-day sort of self-paced program. So if you're just seeing this right now, you can go to 2020.com, scroll down to day one and start there. But today is day 17. And, it's one of those things where I have a bunch of kind of little things I want to say. And some of them I've been kind of trying to put them together to be like, oh, I've only got this little bit of time to say these things. Sorry, my dog's being super needy this morning. So I'm petting her while I talk to you. So the main thing I would say is going to happen, and this is going to something that I noticed when I started, I had a website I was working on, and I had an email address I had to check, and I had a phone number I was checking and answering calls on, and I had social media and all that, is that as you're doing one task, you're going to like think of stuff that needs to be done in the other task. And if you stop doing what you're doing and start doing the other thing, like if I did that all day, if I just like saw something come in my email and stopped what I was doing to deal with it, I would never get anything done. So, I've done a couple of things. Number one is I've scheduled my life so that I have one day in it with like no meetings. I do have a 8 a.m. sort of productivity call or accountability call with our virtual Anchor Space members who want to be a part of that on weekdays. But other than that 8 a.m. call, I will have nothing scheduled. It's typically on Thursday, but this Thursday got a little scheduled up, so this week is going to be on Friday. So I keep one day completely free with no meetings where I can dive into projects because there's some work that I have that like I have to really concentrate on. So I will block off that whole day, and no one will be able to book meetings. I will say that I'm busy, and I will protect that time. So I spend one whole day in my email every single week. Now, I can't, if you use your email as a to do list, it doesn't really work well because, first of all, I don't know about you, but I get a lot of email and it overwhelms me. But the main part is that it's not really sorted by any order except the order I got it in. So just because I got an email from someone this morning that says, hey, can you change the picture on my homepage? I might have another email from last night that says, hey, my whole website's down. Obviously, one of those things is more important than the other. So what I like to do, and I did this even when I worked by myself. Like now I have a small team, but even when I worked by myself, I had a project management system. So the one I use is called Asana, ASANA.com. I get that it's some kind of, I think it's like a yoga term or a meditation term, but it is also a project management system. So it's a freemium software. And honestly, I've been using the free version for like 7 or 8 years now. And maybe longer at this point. And I can see where the paid one could be valuable. And I have my friend Dave uses the paid one and he really likes it a lot. So those of you who want to upgrade to the paid one, feel free. But the free one seems to work fine for me for whatever reason. Um, I can make projects, I can assign tasks and set due dates. So what I like to do is log into Asana and so I will take things out of my email. And so let's say somebody wants me to update their bio on their website. And I'll say, okay, so I'll put that into my project management system and I'll give myself a due date of like a week from now, because that's kind of, and if someone is like, I need you to do this right now, I will put that on today's list. So today's list has 3 things on it that absolutely need to get done. And the rest of it is in Asana. And what I can do is if I get my 3 things done, great, I can start picking away at the other stuff that's in there that I put in from my email. Now, if you do use Gmail, Asana does have a Gmail integration where you can add tasks directly from written emails. I haven't used that yet, but if I figured out how to do that, I think that might save me some time as well. So I also, besides, like I said, if it's a task and I get it. Like it feels like if it feels like it'll just take 5 minutes, it feels stupid to put it in a project management system. But here's the thing: if you have 200 tasks that all take 5 minutes, that's a lot of time. So, and plus the other part I have to build in is billing or time tracking. So like if a client wants me to do something because of my line of work, I sort of have to track my time. Now, honestly, when I bill, I try to err on the side of the client, like if something takes me, 20, 20 something minutes, I'll just charge them for 15. Like I try to, like I said, I try to just be really fair about it. If I have like let's say I have my one of my staff or contract people do something, I don't, and it would have taken me less time to do, I'll charge the client for like what it would have taken me to do that task instead of, even though it took the virtual assistant or, the staff person a little bit longer than it would have taken me. Um, like I said, I just try to be really fair with my billing, but I still have to send the bill. So each task, besides being done, also needs to be billed in my line of work. So you can't forget those parts either. Anyway, it feels like extra to put it all in a project management system. But a light one like Asana, it there's an app, it doesn't take that long, and it allows you to set a priority for it and to group tasks together. So for example, I might be like, all right, I'm going to work on this client for, 2 hours. And I just open up that project and I have a list of all the things that need doing. And by date, I can actually see like, okay, this is like what's most important. And I can group stuff together that way. So I really recommend, even if you work by yourself, a project management system, if only to keep the piles of papers of to-do lists and little online notes at bay and to keep them all in one spot. Um, the other thing that we've added, and this could be something maybe you're working with, maybe you have an admin person, maybe you have, a graphic designer, freelancer that works with you part time, something like that. If you need to communicate with other people, the other thing I suggest adding is Slack. It's really saved us a lot. In particular, me and Jane. So Jane is my business manager, and I am, while I'm okay about money, I'm really not super organized and detail oriented, and Jane is, so she is like the perfect person to work with me. Anyway, what we do is we have a Slack channel called Bookkeeping, and we put all the bookkeeping stuff in that Slack channel. Now, because before Jane and I, we text, we Facebook message, we email, but if we know if there's something bookkeeping, we always put it in there. So there's this constant thread of like, I invoiced this person, or hey, this person paid us, or hey, someone has a question about this invoice or whatever. It's all in one thread, and we can go back and we can search it. We both have access to it. We can both look at it. So if you have sort of ongoing things like that that you need to keep track of the conversation on, I think Slack is really great. But obviously, if you work by yourself, mainly organizing your tasks is going to be your main thing. So I will say, I think it is a worthwhile thing to set up something like that and to take the time to learn a tool like Asana. And I think you're going to be able to, first of all, when you notice something like, oh, that thing on my website doesn't work as well as it should, rather than it bumming you out, you just add it to Asana and take it off of your mind. So yeah, that's pretty much, I guess, what I want to talk about today is to just um, kind of figure out your organization. So figure out, kind of how you're managing your time. Like I said, I spend about 1 day in my email currently a week, but that's just me. Maybe you get way less email than I do, but I feel like that's about right. That'll keep things at least cleared out. And then the other thing I like to do is I like to either eke out an hour at the beginning of the day or an hour at the end of the day. And I call it like my mindless 60 minutes. So whether it's easing into the day, because some days my brain isn't working right off, or at the end of the day when it's like, it's 4:30 and you're like, I kind of want to be done. I just set a timer for an hour and I look at all the dumb stuff that I haven't had time to do that it kind of low bandwidth stuff, like, renew my PO box. Okay, that's something I need to do today, or maybe I can have Jane do it. um, like little things like that, that are in Asana. They're little, they don't take very long, and they don't take much bandwidth. And then I just try to get a bunch done. And then when I'm feeling really sad about my productivity, which I was yesterday, I had a kind of a low day yesterday. I like to open up my Asana and I look at tasks that have been done, and I make myself look at it for like a minute and be like, look at all the stuff you did today, or look at all the stuff you did this week. Like, chill out, Nicole. Like, look at it. Look at what you did. Because I have this really bad habit of just like checking off and moving on. But yeah, so project management system is handy for that as well. It's handy for the stuff that you have to plan, but it's also handy to look back and see what you've actually done. And how long did that take me? How long did it take me to build a new slideshow for that other client? Um, what did I end up doing? And I can sort of document stuff underneath the task too. I can leave comments and stuff like that. So it's a bit of, I don't know, a bit of a knowledge resource to me as well, in addition to keeping me on track. So anyway, if Asana doesn't work for you, you can find something like it. There's tons of project management systems out there, Monday.com, or I'm trying to think of the other ones I've seen go by. But whatever works for you, get your to-do list out of your brain and into somewhere that it can, that you can put it aside and you can get to it when you need to. Because like I said, these little tasks as you run this online business, um, you want to train yourself to notice things that are wrong, but you don't have to drop everything and deal with them right that second. Because like I said, you will never get anything done if you do that. So anyway, this is Nicole. I can't believe this is winding down. If you have topics that you definitely want me to cover, like I said, I have like all these notes of like things I want to say, or things I want to let you know about before this ends, but would much rather cover something that's a topic of interest to you. I do want to do a video about ads, but I promised people that they wouldn't have to spend money if they didn't have to. So I got to figure out what to combine ads with. So that's coming up. And but that's the kind of only like major thing that I haven't covered yet. The rest is kind of more smaller businessy stuff like today's video was. So just leave a comment on the video. You can also message me if you're shy about your question. And yeah, anyway, I hope that your project is going well. This whole 2020 Make Some Money, by the way, it's supposed to be fun and lighthearted. It's not supposed to be like some directive that you have to do something amazingly productive in the middle of a pandemic. Like, I'm not saying you do at all. I just want, I guess, everyone to feel that they have some power to at least control some of their income. And I want them to feel how good that feels to know that, like, if you needed a few $100, that you could go out and that you had this ability to go out and make it. If you have a job, like, yeah, your job is great and like you like it, but that you also had this other thing in your back pocket that the marketplace values. I just want everyone to feel that, in particular women, because I don't know, not that we're all socialized to be, I think we all should feel like we can take care of ourselves. So I really like working in particular with women, and also I actually really like working with like kids who are sort of ambitious like that, because I was always starting my own little businesses when I was a kid. I just liked the idea of making money. So, because I liked the idea that I could take care of myself. So anyway, that's where this is coming from. It is not a directive for you to like, that I think everyone should just be making thousands of dollars a month, like selling crap on the internet. It really isn't. This is from, you have a skill or you have something that you really like doing, and that other people really like it, and that could help sort of support you. That's kind of where this is coming from. So anyway, you can, like I said, you can go to 2020makesomemoney.com, scroll down to day one and start there. If you're just seeing this now. Otherwise, like I said, let me know if you have any questions or things are coming up as you're working on your side hustle or your business or whatever we're calling this. And I will talk to you tomorrow. Have a great day.